Good evening, everyone. We largely want to believe that everyone is at the evening, mostly people joining us from the UK and Nigeria. Can you hear me, please? If anyone can hear me, please, you could just signify so I would know that I'm audible.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening to all of us. My name is Anu, and I have with me some of our trainers and agile coaches in different sphere, be it business analyst or product owner, that would be joining us for this presentation this evening. What we want to do this evening is to quickly take us through talking briefly about those three roles. I'm sharing my screen. Can we see my screen? I believe I'm sharing my screen. Can anyone see my screen?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for notifying.
Yeah, now we can see it now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we'll be talking about those three roles, the Scrum Master role, the Product Owner role, and the Business Analyst role. Those are the three roles we train for. Just as I mentioned, my name is Anu. We want to have the sessions quickly so that we could entertain as many questions as we could take. I believe some of us would have heard or read or seen or learned one or two things about these roles. So this evening, we'll touch about them briefly. Then from there, we would also talk about our training, what our training scope is like, so that everybody could understand what we do. Then from there, we'll entertain as many questions as we could. The last time we had this, at least I remembered we were able to answer all the questions that were asked. But briefly, I would be introducing one of our trainers that is on the call this evening. I'm just trying to respond to one of our trainers. All right, it's by the name Kelly Ushedo. Kelly, I'm making you a co-host now. Please, could you quickly introduce yourself while we wait for Doctor to join us?
Hi, good morning. Good evening, sorry. Hi, good evening. My name is Kelly. I'm a business analyst, a data business analyst, and a facilitator here. Do I continue?
Okay, okay, that would be the short introduction for now. He will be taking the first presentation for us, so we will be able to hear more from him. We're still expecting Doctor to join us in. Okay, I just remembered Kelly introduced himself properly. I didn't introduce myself, I just mentioned my name. Again, my name is Anu. I'm a Scrum Master, an Agile coach. I'm a product owner. I'm a business analyst, and I practice different frameworks in Agile. I practice Scrum, Kanban, Extreme Programming, Lean, and we've been doing it for some time now. And one of the questions that most people have asked is if we need some background in IT before we can venture into the Scrum Master role. I would answer that quickly. What you need, these three roles are in the project management portfolio. So you do not need the core background in IT. You do not need to be a programmer or software engineer or whatnot. what you need is the knowledge in project management. However, this is agile project management. All right. Okay, so Kelly, will you take us further now so we won't waste much of our time? I would like us to get this done quickly. So from there, we could begin to answer as many questions as we have. Would you want to share your screen? Should I stop sharing my screen? So
No, use yours. Let's use yours. That's fine.
All right. All right, beautiful.
All right. Once again, good evening. Thank you all for joining. We're going to talk about the roles of the Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Business Analyst. We'll just give you an overview of these roles to enable you decide on which you want to pursue. Not necessarily all the information at this point, but which you want to research further into and decide on a future. Thank you. Next bit, maybe I should take control.
Okay. Should I stop sharing?
Okay, no, it seems okay. Now you're you were on the same frequency. And before we go into these roles, you would want to ask why these roles, why we think you should consider these roles. And these are the major reasons. The major reason, rather, is that organizations are becoming more agile. Organizations are implementing agile because they have realized that the old way of doing business no longer works. The old way of doing business is no longer guaranteeing results. And we're in a dynamic business atmosphere. Organizations are trying to do things differently to get more profit. They're trying to do things differently to improve their market share. Hence the need to implement Agile. Agile is a business method, a business practice that encourages adaptability and collaboration. So these are the top reasons why organizations need Agilists. In order to implement Agile, they need Agilists, they need us, they need the product owner, they need the Scrum Master, as well as the business analyst in order to implement Agile. They need to be adaptable to business practices the world over. They need to encourage collaboration because what we have these days is different subject matter experts working together. So we are building teams of cross competencies. And as an Agilist, your position, your role involves encouraging collaboration between different competencies to create whatever product you're working on.
That great?
Yeah. Why Agile Scrum? Okay. Agile, there are different frameworks, there are different methods, but we are talking about Agile Scrum. Yes, under Agile, you could say there are other practices, but Scrum. And why Scrum? Because one, Scrum is one of the most popular frameworks of Agile. And when we say popular, it means that it has over time, consistently generated the results. It has consistently given organizations what they need. It has increased their market share, and it has also ensured profitability. It has given them products. It has delivered within specific timelines, even beating these timelines. And that is why Agile is a popular framework embraced by organizations. Then we talk about the specific responsibilities of each role. Before embarking on an expertise, you need to understand what you're going to encounter. You need to understand what you need to work well, to work within that expertise. So as a Scrum Master, you're responsible for facilitating the Scrum process and ensuring that the team is following the Scrum framework. In order to do this, you need to understand this Scrum framework, and you need to be someone who believes in the Scrum framework in order to encourage your team or coach your team to adopt the Scrum framework. As a business analyst, you're on the business end of this framework, you're on the business end, and you gather requirements, you analyze data, and provide insight to your team, to your organization. It just depends on your specific responsibilities in your organization, but this is a general overview. As a product owner, you're responsible for managing the product backlog, setting priorities. This is one of the key things a product owner does. You set priorities vis-a-vis everything that's happening in the company, vis-a-vis what you need to generate your product. And then you ensure that the team is working on the most important task. Those are the specific responsibilities for each role. And what would you learn? In our curriculum, we encourage people before you register, we encourage you to know exactly what you will learn. We encourage you to know what you need, and we encourage you to know where your place will be. Why we do all of this is so at the end of the day, or before you start your journey into the agile world, let's put it that way, you as a person, you know your competences. So when you look at it, you know, okay, this is where I fit in. You know your competencies. You also know your goals, your career goals. So you know, okay, this is where I fit in. This is what will take me to my next level. This is what will help me build my career objectives. So as a Scrum Master, you learn the Agile methodology. Of course, you learn the Scrum framework. You learn what it takes to be a Scrum Master. You will learn your roles and characteristics of wherever you find yourself, how you can dispense your roles, how you can dispense your responsibilities per se. You will learn best practices, and we'll also render support in every other way, because you're not a Scrum Master until you answer the title on a job, on a regular job. You answer the title as a Scrum Master. You just don't get a certification and start parading yourself as a Scrum Master whilst you're still doing your other job. No, we want you to assume the role in an organization. We want you to get paid for this role in an organization. So we render all of the support that will make this possible. What would you learn as a product owner? Of course, again, the Agile methodology, the Scrum framework. Then we let you understand your role in the Scrum framework. It's not only to understand what the Scrum framework is all about. Any other person can understand it, but we want you to know where your role is. We want you to know what is expected of you. We want you to know what a delivery means, how you deliver on those expectations. And of course, we support you with every other thing. We support you with relevant information, industry information. We support you with everything that will make it possible for you to answer that role on an offer letter. As a business analyst, what would you learn? Once again, the Agile methodology. And then we introduce you to the Agile environment, where you find yourself as a business analyst in the Agile environment. Then we give you a broad scope of, okay, what if you're not working in an Agile environment? This is what we do with every other person, but as a business analyst, you're more prone to not work in an Agile environment. So we'll give you a scope of, okay, analyzing the enterprise. We also help you to understand the best practices. We introduce you to some of these tools. Yes, we do that on every of the curriculum. We introduce you to the tools you would use on your job, and we explain who your stakeholders could be, how to interface with these stakeholders. We do that on every curriculum. And then, of course, our job is not done until you answer that title on an offer letter. We've gone through all of this, but before I go, I know for time, there's a thank you on my screen. But before I go, I just want to say, these roles are dynamic. They look straightforward. Yeah, you learn the same thing, you learn the same thing, but they're dynamic. I'd like you to, before you proceed, reflect on these roles, reflect on, okay, what are my career objectives? Reflect on what are my strengths? Reflect on what are my qualifications at this point? Yes, as has been said, you do not need to be an IT guru to engage in any of these roles, but you also know what your strengths are. You also know where you want to be. So when you can reflect on all of this, you can tell yourself, okay, this role suits me better than this other one. This role suits me better than this other one. And at the end of the day, you still get the job, you still get what you need, and you're still able to make the leap which you need in your career. Thank you. You're muted.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kelly. So just as I mentioned when we started, that what we intend to do is, first of all, to show you, to tell you what the roles are about. And just as Kelly mentioned, they are all in the agile space. And he had taken us briefly through why organizations need agilists. Before we go further, I would like to introduce one of our trainers and coaches. Is a doctor. He is a Scrum Master, a product owner. Is an agile coach. Is a DevOps engineer as well. Doctor, over to you, please.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, thank you very much, Coach Anu. Well, thank you very much, and you're welcome, everyone. And in this session, we will tell you the market aspect of what we're doing, just for you to know what you will definitely gain if you register for this course. Because I believe the reason why everyone would like to register for any course will definitely be to, definitely, if, to be sincere, it will definitely be to increase our pay, to increase our income, not only for knowledge sake, but definitely to increase our sake. Though some people, maybe just for knowledge sake, but I want to believe majority here is to increase pay. For example, many of the people in the UK, US, who we have been working maybe as a factory worker, as a healthcare assistant, and all those stuff. You want to find a way. How can I be getting good pay with little or no stress, and that is where we are going. That is where we want to show you now. So, and if anybody is telling you, it's not possible, we can tell you that it is a total lie. You can definitely make huge sum of money without being an IT person. For example, I myself now, and even the Agile coach engineer, can tell you categorically that without being a what's it called, software engineer, you are earning as much as the software engineers are earning. For example, in my team now, apart from the contractors, I'm earning more than many of the computer engineers. So let's go straight to the business. What do you stand to benefit in this training? So please, to the next slide. I'm sorry, I'm looking to the other screen. That's why I'm not facing you. So the screen I'm actually viewing is on my side. Yeah. So the program focus, so it's going to be 1 month intensive training, and I would like to emphasize more on this one because before I started working properly as a Scrum Master, Agile coach, I've done Scrum training, sometimes with one Indian guy like that. And all what we were taught was just the Scrum role and the Scrum artifact. And that was all. And I paid good sum of money, no knowledge. As a matter of fact, after the training, I was the one that I trained myself at the end because they didn't train me. That's not training. They didn't train me. But what you will definitely get here, you will have intensive training. And what we meant by that is that apart from teaching you the theory, we will let you know the practical. Because, for example, by the time you package your CV and you want to claim that you have 5 years experience, during the interview, you have to reflect that actually you have that 5 years experience. Those days when we also, when we started in this journey, we were claiming 5 years, 9 years experience, despite we were just a baby then. But during the interview, we were able to prove that yes, we have what it takes for us to get the job, to work professionally on the job. So what we are going to give to you, we will teach you both the theory and the practical. Well, and when we say the practical, we are talking about how things are actually happening on the job. So there are some things that you will talk theoretically, but we let you know how it works in the system. So sometimes, for example, I could remember those days when I first started, when I say some things, the engineers will tell me that no, Ola, you are just talking theory. This is not practical. So we don't want you to experience that. We want you to have that practical knowledge. So apart from that, we have a project, not even just only one. It could be 2, 3 projects, which will give you idea of exactly how Scrum work in an organization, in teams. Yes, and apart from that, we have hands-on agile tools, because you can't tell me that you have 5 years experience and you don't know how to use Common, Jira, Confluence, DevOps board, version 1 and the rest. So we will give you, though we are not teaching you tools, we are teaching you agile, but because we know these are the things that are applicable on the job, we want you to have the experience. So we will teach you, we coach you how to make use of some of these tools. We are not promising you all of the tools, but at least to give you, even if it's Jira, you know that, okay, this is how it works. And from there, you can transfer knowledge. Any tool that your organization may be using. And then access to our digital resources. So apart from teaching you, because we want to hold you by hand and take you through the journey, we have some digital resources that we like to give to you that you can read, you can develop yourself on. So, and we also have a community of practice, COP. So where we ask questions, if you have any confusion, even on the job, maybe you are facing challenges with your team and you need advice, we still support you in that regard. So we have a community of practice where you can ask questions and we can guide you. Professional test and certification. So part of what we train you for is to pass the certification exam. So we have, for example, for Scrum, we have a PSM1 for product owner. We have product owner professional certification. Then for business analyst, we also have a certification for you to write. So we pay for that anyway. Then interview preparation. So which is, apart from knowing how everything during the training, the interview, because you are not the only person searching for that job, looking for that job, applying for that job. So you definitely have a lot of competitors. Definitely will you need somebody to coach you, to guide you on how to respond to questions during interview. And when we are talking about interview, it's not all about to tell you, if they ask you this is what you need to say. But we will definitely tell you how it happens in the system so that the person, the interviewer, will know that, oh, this person is actually working. It's not about tell me a time when you have done this and you started, yes, I did this, and you couldn't give a practical experience of what actually usually happens on the job. So these are the things we will definitely do for you. We will help you with this. We give you, as a matter of fact, we have what we call interview mocks, where we have panel of judges, interviewers that will start interviewing you, and we give you a response. We record the interview so that you can go over it again. You know where you still need help, where you need to prepare more. So these are the things we will do for you. Then support for resume and job applications. So, and when we are talking about job applications, we are not saying we are going to apply for you, but we are going to guide you on how to apply, because some people just throw applications anyhow and you won't hear anything from the recruiters. So we will guide you on how you should submit your application. Then we will help you with your resume, to prepare your resume. So because like I mentioned, number one thing is for you to have the training. Number two is to have a resume that will represent you. Then if you have a very good resume that will get you an interview, then you need a solid interview preparation for you to pass the interview. So, and the last one is on the job. Like I mentioned earlier, when after you have started the job, because you are still a baby Scrum Master or product owner or business analyst, we don't want to leave you alone, because definitely when you get a job, you'll be on probation for maybe 3 months or 6 months, and we want you to actually get the job. So we will guide you throughout this period until you have your permanent position. So though some of you may like to have contract job and permanent position, as a contractor, you will be earning £500 per day. You may be earning £700 per day, depending on how big your organization is. So some people, I think I've like one of the agile coaches that I worked with at the Jaguar Land Rover, he told me, I think engineer, you know him, Patrick. He told me he can never work as a permanent staff, because then Jaguar Land Rover was paying him £700 per day. So you can multiply it 7 times 5, and times 4. You can imagine. So a salary of one person in a month, somebody has made it within how many days? 4 days. So those are the things you will definitely benefit from this training. Please to the next slide. So roles you can apply for. So as a Scrum Master, we have several roles that you can apply for. So apart from a Scrum Master position, you can apply for Agile Project Manager, Transformation Manager, Agile Delivery Manager, Agile Coach, Release Manager, Agile Performance Lead, Change Manager, and the rest. We have so many positions: Agile Lead, Squad Lead, and all those names. We find them when you start applying for jobs. Then for Product Owner, so the next slide, please. You can apply for Business Development Manager, Product Manager, Business Analyst, Innovation Manager, Product Owner, Product Initiative Manager. So these are the roles you can, we have so many of them. You have Technical Product Owner. When they say Technical Product Owner, it doesn't mean that you have to know how to code or whatever. They just want you to have the technical knowledge of what you have done in the past and all those stuff. And this is one of the reasons why we said we coach you, we train you to have the understanding. Despite you are not a tech person, you want to work in a tech environment and you need that experience. Not that you need to have that in-depth knowledge, but you need an experience. You need a knowledge. You need somebody to guide you how it works, and you'll be able to prove yourself during the interview. Now to the next slide. And as a business analyst, you can apply as a customer experience analyst, process improvement specialist, business analyst, business consultant, business systems analyst, and product owner. And to the next slide. So how much will it cost you for each of these certifications? So if you are registering for Scrum Master and Product Owner, that will cost you 1,500. And if you are registering for Scrum Master and Business Analyst, that will cost you 1,700. And for what we are given, to be sincere, you can Google it, for you to get this price in the UK, within the UK here, for you to get these two courses at this rate, very, very rare, I must tell you. And apart from that, even if, like I mentioned, I did the training, but I gained nothing. I mean, nothing. But what we can beat our chest for is that if you register for this, you definitely have value for your money, and definitely you'll be happy. You even refer people to us. As a matter of fact, many of the people we usually get are referrals from those that we have trained, those that have gained improvements through our training. As a matter of fact, engineer, we were at one Chinese restaurant last week. One of the guys we trained took us out, he became, what was that position again? I think senior delivery manager. Yeah, so senior delivery manager, this is a guy that has been working in factory for so many years, and now to care, and after some months, after some months that he registered for our training, he got a job and become a senior. Even since I've started working as an analyst for over years now, I've not gotten to that senior. And that is the funnest part of it. I think one of our guys became was that is it assistant president or deputy president? What's the position they give to him? So yeah, these are the things that we trained you. Doesn't mean that you can't get even a position ahead of our own or whatever. All those things are nomenclature. Even despite the senior delivery manager, the nomenclature is just the salary at the end is still not our own. So yeah, and the beauty of these things is that you can even work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, depending on your capacity. Though we don't like telling people that, but that is exactly what is happening on you get. For example, one of our guys also got a Scrum Master job. Is a Scrum Master Agile Performance Lead with a very big company, earning good salary. Because he was like, engineer, but you're earning big money, 6 figures in this same country that everybody is complaining that no job, no money in the UK. You're earning 6 figures per month. And likewise, doctor, you're earning 6 months. I should be able to earn 6 figures. And he started applying for product owner. He is an Agile Performance Lead, which is equivalent to Scrum Master. He applied for product owner and got a product owner job. And last month, he told me, said, doctor, so this is what you and the engineer has been earning over years. So that is the beauty of it. And, despite you are not a tech person, you are earning equivalent of what the tech guys are earning. So, and at the comfort of your home, you are working, you are here. For example, in this year now, I've visited my office just 3 times since the beginning of this year. I've been working from home. So this is part of the beauty of these Scrum Master, Product Owner, Business Analyst roles. You can sit at the comfort of your home and be working. And this will just be a peanut. By the time you hand for salary, you are like, you've recovered your expenses. The remaining is just gain. So yeah, this is how much it will cost you to become a Scrum Master and Product Owner, Scrum Master and Business Analyst. Yep. To the next slide. Yeah. For this period, because we do this occasionally to encourage people, especially those in the UK, US, Germany, Australia, and Nigeria. We want to encourage everyone. We want to ensure that our people are working in a very good place. For example, if you go to a company like Jaguar Land Rover, you see many of these Indians, Pakistans. They are there, many of them. Whereas go to care home, you find Nigerians. Factories, we find Nigerians. But it is not encouraging, and it's not that we can't do better than them. We can do far, far better than them. So we want to, encourage people. And for this reason, we are giving 20% discounts for those that will register between today and the next the next 5 days. So just to encourage us. Yeah, I think we've done well with that. Thank you very much, everyone. If you have anything, any question, any concern, please bring it up and let's discuss it together. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. One thing that was left out is that we have payment plan for those who want it. We are also a merchant to Klarna. Some of us will know Klarna in the UK. Klarna is a big financial institution that allows for instrumental payments. So you could use Klarna to make payments. Then also we allow for 3 installments too. All right. Someone's hand is up. Over to you. Your question, Funsho Adeyemi, please.
Yes, sorry, you've already answered my question. I was about to ask you if there's a payment plan.
All right. All right. Let's have some. All right. Do you have some? Okay, that has been answered. Let's go this way so that we could begin to ask some of the questions that we have. Our doctor was mentioning something which I want to emphasize on it. I tell you, most of us as Nigerians, we are better off. We are better than some of the places we found ourselves. And for those that are in the UK here, we know by now that everything in the UK is got to do with knowledge. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. The earlier we could transit to these project roles, the better for us. And we can't overemphasize that. It gives us lots of peace of mind. For instance, I've been working from home from last year. I had not needed to go to the office at all. I work fully from home. Earlier this year, I decided to get another job. That was late last year, December last year. And I was running 2 different jobs. That is possible. And you could imagine when you earn so well, when you earn good money that will give you that peace of mind, when you really, really have peace of mind. And this thing is really doable. A young man was with, I came on a visit this afternoon, and I was having a discussion with him. And I said, what you need is product awareness. It's in the project management portfolio. You do not need the technical knowledge. You need the technical awareness, which is the product awareness for you. And that is all what you need. So what you need to do is to be sound, and with that, you would be able to deliver. Yes, Oluwatosin.
Yes, thank you very much for, sorry, I joined a little bit late.
All right.
And my question is, as a product owner, what other roles can you apply for outside, the normal project owner role? What other roles can you apply for?
Okay, give me a minute. We showed that because you came in late. Just give me a minute. There are several roles you could apply for. Tell me if you can see the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
So these are some of the roles you can apply for as a product owner. There are several roles you can apply for. We just picked some of these out. Business development manager, product manager.
Yes, it's not showing. Yeah, it's not really showing what you are saying.
Maybe it's showing something else. Just a moment, please. Sorry. All right, how about now? Is it showing?
Yes, fine,
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so these are some of the ones that we just picked out. There are several roles you can apply for. When you are checking job descriptions, what you look out for would be the competencies, right? The responsibilities you need to take. So when you begin to see those competencies that's got to do with yours, stakeholders engagement, dealing with product backlogs, managing the team, ensuring delivery, meeting up with timelines, the release date and all the rest, then you begin to know that those are the roles that you can apply for. Does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Benigna, I'm not sure if I got your name correctly. If I didn't, sorry about that. Over to you.
Yes, you did. You did, Benigna. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so please, when is the next cohort starting?
Okay, the next batch is starting next week. So we are just putting the finishing touches to that. So the next batch would be starting next week. And how our program is, just to mention that again for those who came in late, we run the first 1 month is 1 month intensive training. And I tell everyone that when we say 1 month intensive, it's actually 1 month intensive. The last time we did it, a lady asked that, do we really mean what we say? Then I told the lady that everything we mean, everything we promise, we deliver. There are 2 things we would not do for you. 1, we would not apply for jobs for you. 2, we would not sit for certification tests for you, but we would be there with you. We're going to prepare you for it. We're going to give you all the necessary strength you need. We're going to take you through, and for us, apart from the 1 month intensive training, when you go to the practical, we do real practical. You'll be working on an actual project. You would actually role as a Scrum Master on a project. You would role as a project manager, product owner on a project. You will role as a business analyst on a project. So that will give you the experience that you need. And while you're rolling, we will be there with you to guide you through. We would expose you to all the basic tools, and you'll be able to use them yourself. So when you go for interviews, you'll be able to say, I know these tools. You'll be able to relate from the class. For instance, in the project that the last batch is working on, the sprint they just finished, you wouldn't believe that even while they're having projects, in-house projects, they had conflicts on that team, and it was a lot of back and forth, and that is what happens on the real job. When you have dependencies, when you have blockers that you need to engage, you need to solve the problem. So those things we'll be exposing you to. One thing we can guarantee, by the time you go through the training, you can be sure that you know this thing. Anything in it, you will be convinced yourself. As a last year, the last roles that I applied for, I need not to prepare for interviews again. You could just wake me up anytime and say, okay, let's sit for an interview. Good. Doctor was talking about one of his folks when he was at Jaguar Land Rover. We worked together. Doctor and I, we worked together at Jaguar Land Rover. There's a particular role that I'm looking at now. I've not even mentioned it to Doctor. Doctor, they'll be paying £550 per day. And I'm putting in for that role, £550 per day. That is a beautiful role. To make it sweeter, it's fully remote. You'll be working from home. It's a contract role, fine, but it pays well. So those things are really there. And when you are sound, when you could deliver, you go for interview, you will know yourself that you've done well because we will prepare you adequately. Thank you. Any other
Okay, so, yeah, quick one. How many times a week and at what times is the training? How many times a week, then at what times during the day?
Okay, we run, for this next batch, we're looking at evening times and weekend. We do training weekdays and weekends. The batch that is ending, we did weekdays, morning session and evening session, and then weekend. But the next batch, we want to focus more on evenings and weekend. So what happens is that for those who could not meet up with evening classes in the weekdays, they would have the privilege to join the weekend classes. And we do such that it could be reinforced too. When you miss a class, you could easily join subsequent class at the same time.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right, David, please.
Yes, I'm very happy to be here. I want to know what are the basic computer knowledge or skills I need to have before I enroll into this class.
Okay. Okay, good question.
Because, sorry to cut in, because I wouldn't like to make a payment and then when the training starts, I will find out that I don't have the basic computer knowledge or skills required for the training. So I really want to get prepared before making payment because I'm so much interested in this training.
Okay. Doctor, do you want to answer that?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. To be sincere with you, what you need is actually the normal thing that you know already. The things you can do, how to send the mail, because those are part of the things you will definitely be doing on the job. To send mail, to chat with your team member, to have a MS Team or Zoom, depending on the call tool that your organization will be using. So those are the major tools. Then the remaining tools that you will definitely be using, those are the tools that we will teach you on, they are not, because like I said, we are not actually teaching you tools because companies differ. For example, many of the companies I've worked with, we use Jira, but one of my current organization now, we use DevOps. So, and I don't need to know, to have the full knowledge. Now that I know how to work with Jira, I only need to transfer that knowledge to DevOps. Like engineer now, I think one of his companies is using version 1. And I've never used version 1 before, but I know if I lay my hand on version 1, I'll be able to use it. It's just to transfer. So you don't need to be technical. You are not coding. You are not doing anything. What you are doing is though on the job we call it support, but what you do actually is people management. You are managing people to do the right thing. That's just it.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Any other question from anyone? And just quickly, to buttress what Doctor said, let me show you this briefly. For instance, this is Jira board. And in the course of the class, you will be taken through how to understand and know Jira and know how to manage the board. This is Jira board, for instance. This is a live project on. This is an active sprint. We can see the work items that have been completed, the ones in progress. This is Mura. Mura is for collaborative facilitation. So those are some of those things we will take you through. But just as Doctor mentioned, by the time you go through Jira board, you'll be able to know similar workflow board. These are workflow board. This is what visually is called Kanban itself. So you'll be able to, if you have knowledge of this, you'll be able to use Azure DevOps board. You'll be able to use version 1. You'll be able to use even Monday.com. So that's some of those things and how they work. Right? Any other question? Yes? Beninga, please. Yeah. Go ahead.
I would like, again, could you guys help us with like reference? Because like since we really don't have like, for me, I don't have experience in like BA or Scrum Master. And if I have to put it on my CV that I did like 3 months project with you guys, and or would you guys help us with like work reference?
Yes, and that is actually the essence of the practicals too, because when you go through a 1 month intensive training, that knowledge starts counting for you. After that 1 month intensive training, you roll into full practical, which still counts further for you too. So as much as the knowledge you earn, which will take you through, that would count for work experience for you too.
I think, sorry, I think I know what my sister is asking.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you had 5 years experience on your CV and actually you've not worked in that particular role before, and now they need a referee or something like that. Is that what you are referring to, please?
I don't think so.
Yes, like if I need like reference, like work reference, like where
Yeah.
worked previously, what are you guys will provide with?
Yeah, so on that one, because we don't, you know, if you read through what we said we want to offer, please take us to that page. Do you still have the slide there? What we said we can offer. So on that one, that is on, you have to meet with the company, I mean, the Route X. So we discussed that and how that, because that will definitely come at extra cost. That is, if we are referencing you, we want to make use of our company, you will definitely have to pay for that. It's not part of what we, these are the things, number 1 to 8, these are the things we are offering you. But if you want to make use of our company as where you've worked before, and you want to refer our company, then that comes with an extra cost. It's not, and you know, until you land the job and you want to refer to us, you know, before we write the reference for you, you definitely, but that is on a personal level. You have to meet with the engineer Arno to discuss that. So that is if you want that. We don't give it free, to be sincere.
Okay, but like I want to ask something else again. But like most companies, they ask for reference. Like once you land a job, they ask for reference, right? Like
Yeah.
for like your previous employer, they do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions.
It's all right.
Finally, like how many what's the payment plan like? You said clan gives a payment plan. Is it like 3 times? Is it like 2 times? What's like the payment plan like? How long is
We
it?
do 3 installments. Even if you want to do Klarna, to use Klarna to pay, Klarna would give you 3 installments too. But if Klarna is not working for you, particularly for those in Nigeria, you could raise that conversation with us. Then we can look into that. But we do 3 installments.
Okay, thank you.
Let me see if there are any questions. Okay, what other roles can you apply for? I've answered that. Is it possible to get recording if we miss a class? Well, we don't give recordings if you miss a class, but we make the classes flexible. I can remember the current BA class that's just ending. The trainer needed to make some additional spaces for some persons that could not meet up with that. And one of the reasons we do not give out our recordings, particularly, is also GDPR. GDPR does not allow for that to be shared, and we've had reasons where some trainees raised questions on it, and so it's part of what our policies are. But as an alternative for that, when you miss class, we've made the classes flexible, and we can always have a catch-up session for you. How about, please?
Yeah, hi, good evening. Please, quick one. For the business analyst certification that we will be, the exam will be writing basically, which of the certification will it be? Is it the IIB? Which of the IIBA certification will we be doing? You know, because there are a lot of them. There's the CBDA, AAC, and the rest of them. So which specific one are we going to be doing?
Okay. Kelly? Kelly?
Hi, I'm with you. I'm still here.
Okay.
Fear not. I'm still here.
Did you
So
get the question?
yes, we're doing the IIBA rule. Is that what the question was? Are we doing the IIBA or what was the question again? Can you come on? Can you give the
So the question was, which specific IIBA certification would we be doing? Because I know there are a couple of them.
yeah, there are a couple of them.
So which particular one would we be doing?
We're doing the ECBA.
ECBA.
Yeah, the CPAB, in most cases, you need prerequisites. And we cannot assure everyone that you will scale the prerequisites based on your experience. So with the ECBA, we can be sure that, okay, whenever anyone registers for the business analysis program, we can register the person for the ECBA. However, in my experience, what you need is not necessarily the certification, because in most cases, people have gotten these jobs without the certification, especially as a business analyst. What you need to prove is that you understand the concept. What you need to prove is that you are able to navigate the business world, especially as it concerns the company you're applying to. And you have because a business analyst, your most important feature, your most important strength is your mind and how you can analyze. So if you're able to prove that, okay, I can do this, I can do that. So we've had not too many people, but a couple of people who before the certification have landed themselves roles. So the certification just became an extra. So whether you're getting an ECBA, CBDA, CPAB, whichever one, there are a lot of things on the IIBA side, right? Whether you're getting any one of them or even from the British Computer Society, whichever one you're getting, what matters is that you can prove that you are relevant to the industry or to the organization to which you're applying. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Ugo, please.
I thank you very much, Anu. Thanks, everyone, all you facilitators. I just wanted to follow up on Benigna's question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I wanted to follow up on Benigna's question earlier. The times for the training in the evenings, what times exactly, and weekends as well, and how long, please?
Okay. The weekends are more flexible. If I go by the current batch we have the evenings for 6 to 8. We had morning 10 to 12, but just as I mentioned, the next batch will just be evenings. We have it 6 to 8. However, that still comes with we make it a bit more flexible so that when we say the generality of the trainees and what everyone is tending towards, that could inform some more flexibility for us. And for weekends is even more flexible. There are times we have it in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes evening. Why we do that is to create some more flexible time that would work for people, because it is a particular batch that could inform the direction that we would go. For instance, when we see that a good number that are not able to meet up with the evening classes could be free more in the morning for weekends, we will put it at the weekends for them. Does that answer the question?
Yes, just a couple, just a follow up. What days? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sundays?
Okay.
Let me comment, please.
Okay.
Ugo, good evening.
Good evening, bro.
In most cases, when we have, okay, for my classes, for instance, say
yes.
I have for the sake of this conversation, say I have 10 or 5 people on my class, and I say, okay, these are my available slots. These are I'd like to tell you, okay, every Saturday and Sunday, so time to so time, right? But I understand that a lot of us are still, in some cases, picking up shifts. You still have to survive until you get the big job you're looking for. So what I do most times is I say, okay, this is my availability for this week. This is my availability for this month. This is my availability for this class. Which one works with most of you?
Okay.
You understand? So when we fix all of those, we can also, okay, there could be a spillover. I've had a class where someone told me he has alternate weekends free.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. Okay, your spillover. Okay, this within this time during the week, can you make it? So it's flexible in most cases, because the concept, we understand what people are going through. We know what is not like everybody has weekends free. No, neither is it like everybody has nights free. So we try to make it as flexible as, we try to make it as flexible as we can. Relative to the team, the class we are working with. Does that answer your question?
Okay. Yes, it does. It does, actually. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Abimbola.
Hi, sorry, good evening. I'm sorry I joined late. I was just gonna ask, how much would a product manager pay for the certification and for the training?
Okay, we train for product owner in the agile space, not project manager. Product owner, it's an agile product owner role. And that is in the Scrum Agile framework. So what we have, if you can see that from the screen, is that we have the Scrum Master and Product Owner role for £1,500, then Scrum Master and Business Analyst role for £1,700. We anyone that takes Product Owner role could transit into the Business Analyst role, same as this. But the Product Owner and Scrum Master role, they are both in the Scrum framework. So what we have is the Scrum Master and Product Owner role for £1,500. Does that answer the question, please?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Okay, there are still a few questions on the group. Okay, Shobola, yes, we had a chat a couple of weeks ago, I guess. Next batch would start next week, but we would give you the full details for that. There are some materials we will send to you in the course of this week so that you can begin to prepare for the next class. Then Chinedu was asking the payment plan. Yes, beautiful question. Thank you for that. We said 3 installments in 3 months. So it's not within 1 month. We all understand how some of these things work. Really, everybody that has that capacity should really transit to any of these roles. It may not just be Scrum Master, Product Owner, or Business Analyst roles alone. The last time I needed to work in a weekend was 2021, and you have that peace of mind. So we've made the program flexible, and the payment too. So the payment is in 3 months. That 3 installments is in 3 months too. Any other hands raised? Abimbola, do you still have a question? Okay, I guess.
Oh no, sorry.
It's all right. Then please, are you going to draft a CV for us after the training? Okay, good question. Let me go quickly to what we said we would offer. These are the things we would offer. We will see number 7 says support for resume and job application. What we do is not that we draft CV. We do not prepare your CV for you. We give you a draft. You now prepare your CV. we now have a session on your CV, and we walk through your CV. And the reason we do that is to make you somewhat independent, to know how to adjust your CVs to suit specific roles that you want to apply for. There is that argument that comes that for any role you want to apply for, you should be able to adjust your CV. So what we do while the class is going on, we will give you a draft, just a format for you to prepare your CV. Then we have a session that will take you through that CV, looking at your CV with you, so that we can now begin to see how best, but at the end of the day, you will now be able to manage your own CV yourself. So every time you need to adjust something, you do not need to come back to us, because you will then know what you need to do. Any other question? I think those are all the questions on the chat.
Sorry, just the notice for those that may want to take the advantage of the 30% discount. Please, if you have interest in that, you will need to contact engineer Ano to speak, so that it will generate the voucher for you. For those that want to make use of Planner, so he will be the one to generate it for you. And please don't forget that is just between today and in the next 5 days. So thank you very much.
All right, and you can see my number. That's my number on the oh, I'm not sharing the screen again. Sorry. We could see my number on the screen, and you could also send us an email if you are interested in that. Any other question? It seems okay. Over to you, Benigna.
Sorry, can you go back to your screen where you put out the things that you're offering us? I just want to do a quick screenshot of it. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Okay, I think that should be everyone, every question. If you have further questions, please, you could always chat with me anytime. You could give me a call. If I do not pick your call, I would call you back. You could drop an SMS, you could drop a chat. And if you have some other questions or some clarity that you need, please reach across to us. Okay, Kelly?
Before we go, I just want to say this. There is a certification industry in the UK, in the sense that you come to the UK and people tell you you need certification to do whatever you need to do. And then people peddle different certifications to you and tell you, get this and you get a job. Somebody just got a job last week. In fact, the last person I spoke with just got a job. So if you can get this, and then you become confused after a while, because yes, you want to do better. And then at each juncture, you have people who are selling certifications to you. And then you ask yourself, which one do I really need to do? That is why we went through the basic aspects. And so what I need you to do before you settle is to ask yourself, okay, what are my career objectives? And will this certification bring everything? And while people want to improve, but I'll tell you one basic thing: get a certification that will at least pay itself back. Doctor said something about your first salary paying you back. And in most cases, your first salary will at least double any course you are doing here. Any course you're doing here, your first salary. But that doesn't mean that you just do the certification and tomorrow you get a job. You still need to put in the work. So we are not selling you a certification. We are selling you a process. We're selling you an ideal that works, right? Because At the end of the day, we could just give you dubs and you go and write the certification, but that is not what will get you foot in the door. We need you to know these things. We need you to practice these things. When you call yourself a Scrum Master, you are indeed a Scrum Master. You are adapting Scrum into even your personal life. When you say you're a business analyst, you are thinking, you're analyzing things with frameworks, with methodologies that work. So that is what we are selling to you. It's not just a certification and then we throw you into the job market and say, go and swim. A lot of people go through CVs. People have certifications they can't back up. You can just put your CV, just try it one day, put your CV, write everything on your CV. You'll be called for an interview. But there are some interviews you attend before the end of the interview. You feel like disconnecting your internet and just telling yourself, no need. You could just try it, look for a CV, arrange your CV, send everything. You could be called, but nothing will happen. So we want to equip you, not just sell you a certification, equip you in order to get this job, in order to get to the next level. Yes, when you get there, you can start saying, okay, just like doctor now, okay, I want to be an Azure person, I want to do this, I want to do lean management, green belt, black belt, I want to do CPAP. See, there are a lot of certifications. You can spend your salary every day, every month in the UK getting certifications and you won't get a job. And your LinkedIn will look beautiful, but you're not getting paid. So please think on these things. You could go to the next place and they'll tell you there's a guarantee for a job. We are not giving you that guarantee, but we're giving you the guarantee that if you put your heart to it, if you put the work into it, you will get what you deserve. What you deserve could be a 70K job. What you deserve could be a 100K job. What you deserve could be unfortunately. But in most cases, you already know what you deserve. There are some jobs you apply for. You know that everything comes through is a lie because you are not prepared. There's some interviews you go through. You tell yourself, this one is not for me. I need to do better in life. So consider all of this before you make your decision. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kelly. And just quickly to add to that, when we check most of the jobs, the job descriptions in the UK, we would observe something clearly. They will write there, a certification or a certificate in the role is an added advantage. It is where we came from for those of us in the UK. Possibly some are joining us from Nigeria. For us who came from Nigeria, it is where we came from that we've added so much premium on certificates above the knowledge. Here, what they want to see is that you demonstrate the knowledge. So you'll be having both together. You would have the knowledge. The students we have taken, one of the things when we are starting the classes, we tell them repeatedly, this is an intensive training. The last batch, when I was telling them again and again, it's an intensive training, they thought I was joking. When we got to the practical, they said, this thing is really intensive. And I said, see, you won't need to put off with us for long. Just put off with us now, but you will be sound. You would have the knowledge. If there's one thing I can guarantee too much is that you would know the job. You will know the job. Then, of course, you would write the certification too. And good enough, we've built the certification into the cost. So you are not paying for certification again. I know someone in this UK that does Scrum Master training for £3,000 and is without certification. I can give you the number if you need it. You could just confirm yourself. £3,000 for Scrum Master training without certification. So you're having both. And the certification you have is not a UK certificate. So we need to mention that. It's a global certificate from the body that created that role itself. So you'll be having a certification from a Scrum body or from business analyst body now. So you're having the best of both. So for as many of us that want to do this, I tell you, guys are doing good. Guys are doing good. I know guys who earn over 120,000 per annum. I won't tell you what doctor earns. Doctor earns more than 120 per annum, but I won't tell you what he earns. I know guys that are doing well. Doctor mentioned that somebody took himself and myself out last week, Sunday last week. His paycheck is 64K, and that is his first job. 64K is a beautiful place to start. Let me quickly say this. There was a young man that was in a training. Doctor, you know him. When we were at Jaguar Land Rover, he was not putting the right energy into the training. If you ask him question, he wasn't delivering well. We then caught some flow that that Jaguar Land Rover was recruiting some other persons. At this time, this guy had written the certification. He has the certificates already, but he was not proven yet. Then he said that we should give him the link. I just said, no, we can't, because you will really mess up that chance for somebody that is ready. So away from certificates, you could prepare for certificate. There are DOMs to prepare for certificate and pass. So if you have the certificate, you will put the nomenclature to your CV, beautiful. You could have the best CV in town. Somebody could design a CV for you. And they will call you for interview. A good CV could at best open the door for interview to you. That's at best. When you sit down there, what do you do? What do you say? That is the next question. And this person, because it works with a government agency, recently they now shortlisted new persons. He then now called me and started telling me, because he was part of that recruitment and screening process. He called me and started giving me flow of different kinds of CVs, particularly Nigerians, some very, very beautiful but funny CVs. And you just know that the CVs are just lifted. So it's a thing to have a good CV. It's another thing to have the certificates or certification. But the actual real deal is when they ask you a question in an interview and you smile. You smile because you are ready to bamboozle them. You are ready to finish them. And that is what we'll prepare you for. Kelly was talking about when that had happened to somebody that I know. When he was doing the interview, he felt the heat and he knew that he wasn't delivering well. He just stylishly turned off the internet because he wasn't delivering well. So what matters is when somebody wakes you up and asks you a question. For instance, there are 38 questions that the current batch are going through for Scrum Master interviews alone, 38 questions. We drafted those 38 questions. They cut across everything. By the time you are sound, you will be able to answer those questions yourself. So at best, a good CV would open the door for you. A certification would also give you that pre-glory, but what matters is delivering adequately at an interview, and that is what we prepare you for. Thank you, everyone. I think we should have exceeded our time. I think there's, okay. All right. Okay, doctor is out. I think that's all we need to go through. So thanks everyone for being on the call. For as many that are interested, you have my number. Please reach out to us and we'll take it on from there. For those who are registering, who had registered, the next batch is commencing next week. Kelly, any final words? Okay, I think that was final. All right, bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye is my final word. All right.